Hi everybody, my name is Karan and this is the first video of my YouTube channel Deconstructor. I'm going to begin by deconstructing Patrick Bateman from the 2000 classic American Psycho. The character was portrayed by Christian Bale. Patrick is a New York City financial manager who works in this big finance firm called Pierce & Pierce. He lives alone in a fancy apartment in New York City. To me, Patrick embodies a man who can go to any extreme, any length to fit in and to be seen as this clever, sought-after business guy whom everybody wants a piece of. He is highly paid and he lives a luxurious lifestyle, flashing well-crafted business cards, wearing designer suits, and competing to get reservations at fancy restaurants, sometimes even lying about booking a table when the restaurant was completely full. His apartment, his taste in music, his cutlery, his morning routine, including the numerous self-care products that he uses. All of these scream a desperate quest to create an idealized version of himself. There is an idea of a Patrick Bateman, he says to himself in the film. I admire many things about Patrick Bateman. His drive, his determination to get richer, thinner, look better, and to have the perfect apartment. He works very hard on himself and he completely deserves the body he has achieved. However, behind all of this, there are deep-rooted, extreme insecurities that he harbors. Also, his desperation to maintain and continuously reinforce that self-created, idealized image makes him think, say, and do disgusting, deplorable things. To begin with, he is highly misogynistic. He believes that his money and power have bought him entitlement to say and do whatever he wants to women around him. He belittles his secretary over her dressing and demands that she dress up in a certain way only. He pays sex workers, brings them to his apartment, and makes them do humiliating things to each other. He exercises and works out to horror film scenes in which women can be seen screaming and running for their lives. He intellectualizes artists and their music in front of sex workers who know nothing about them. All of this is in addition to his verbal abuse of women behind their backs. Secondly, he shows extreme hateful contempt towards the poor and towards those people who he thinks are lesser to him. Homeless people, waiters, sex workers. He disrespects them, he humiliates them on their face, laughs at them, and always tries to put them in their place. And thirdly, Patrick Bateman's obsession with preserving his self-image makes him delusional to the point that he actually starts imagining committing horrific murders. While the film's ending is ambiguous, my interpretation is that Patrick's murderous instincts, his bloodlust, his appetite for extreme violence against women, but especially against women who he thinks are lesser, are all part of his paranoia over preserving his self-image, for himself as well as for others. For him, being rich, good-looking, sexy, intellectually inclined, artistically inclined, homophobic, misogynistic, and sadistic are all part of the necessary toolkit to fit into the rich and powerful Wall Street world. So, in conclusion, Patrick Bateman is a classic case of performative behavior taken to the extreme, wherein everything he thinks, says, and does is part of this grand performance to create and continuously reinforce an idealized version of himself which he sees as fitting perfectly into the Wall Street world. So if you ask me, Patrick Bateman is trying way too hard to fit in. I guess that is it from me for this episode. Next week, I'm going to return with another fascinating deconstruction of another character from a great film. So watch this space for more, and I'll see you all next week. Take care.
What?